Lunar New Year is probably the biggest time of the year for Chinese people to gorge on an endless supply of delicious and auspicious dishes. You probably know the most common ones: dumplings, which represent wealth since they look like gold ingots; steamed whole fish, because the word fish sounds like surplus in Chinese; and sweet rice balls, which symbolize reunion and being together. But there's one lesser-known ingredient that you don't really see any other time of the year, but Hong Kong people absolutely love. That is dried golden oysters. In this episode of Eat Drink Asia, we will find out why golden oysters became a New Year dish, what makes them so unique from traditional dried oysters, and how they are made in a village in Hong Kong that has been farming oysters for some 700 years. Chef Edwin， 我想問下咧，係唔係過年嘅時間咧，係啲人特別中意食金蠔㗎？
係啊，因為佢意頭嘢啦，好事好事好事齊來咁樣。譬如我哋會食發財好事啊，我哋會用咗金蠔啦、天白花菇啦、蒜子啦、火腩啦、發菜啦同豆苗。啲所有嘢都係意頭啊，好事啦好事啦，北菇即係金錢啦。蒜子嘅金蒜啦，發菜啦，發財啦，綠色嘅翡翠啦，去做咗呢個賀年嘅菜咯，中國人會。
咁但係其實以前唔係用金蠔咁樣，用蠔豉㗎嘛。
係啦。咁
蠔豉同金蠔有咩分別咧？
蠔豉同金蠔，首先啦，蠔豉咧就比較細粒啲啦，同埋佢個味比較霸道。咁金蠔咧會比較大啲、大體啲，同埋佢個味咧甘香和啲，所以咧而家多數嘅人咧都會用金蠔去演繹呢一個菜式。
咁可唔可以介紹下台上其餘呢兩碟餸啊？
呢個蜜餞金蠔啦，我哋將金蠔輕輕洗一洗佢啦。咁我哋落咗啲薑啊、葱啊，辟咗嗰啲腥味啦，蒸一蒸佢，跟住就攞隻鑊慢慢煎。你見到佢個邊咧開始起焦嘅時候咧，就輕輕好似燒烤咁啦，落啲蜜糖啦，咁慢慢收翻佢。為咗易食咧，我哋下邊都同埋口感咧，我哋下邊都放咗塊鍋巴啦，等有軟糯之餘仲嗰種脆嘅感覺啦。
咁然之後呢一個我未見過喎。
呢個係我哋古代嘅粵菜咧，有個蜆貴雞。佢哋就攞蜆啊、蠔豉去浸一隻雞，跟住去做一個餸嘅。但係我就將而家嘅炸子雞同呢個餸重新去演繹一次咯。咁我為咗去令佢更入味咧，我將隻炸雞炸醃好咗之餘啦，再手撕再將個金蠔個芡咧去撈咗佢，每一 part 佢都個味道都好和嘅。
哇！你買啲金蠔個味好香。
係啊，我哋去嗰啲老字號去買嘅。
嗰個蠔味係好重，但係又未去到蠔豉嗰個你講話霸道嗰個味道啦。嗰隻係太犀利啦嗰個。我諗金蠔要買嗰個 quality 係你一食就食得出咯。
係啊。
算唔算啊？
會啊，因為而家好少人做啊。
係咪每年都有貴啲啊？嗰啲金蠔？
係啊，因為越嚟越少人做啦，因為個過程啊好繁複啊。香港再有好少地方去做。據我所知，流浮山仲有呢啲咁嘅技術咯。
So to learn more about the secret behind these delicious golden oysters, we followed Chef Edwin's advice and took a trip to Lao Fao San. This time, we traveled with private chef and dried seafood expert Charles Cheung to his favorite oyster farm. Chef Charles, so we're in Lao Fao San. Can you tell me what's important about this area when it comes to golden oysters?
For this area is one of the best sites for the seafood in Hong Kong. So many years, because it's among Shenzhen and Hong Kong, the sea and riverside here are so rich in minerals. So the seafood here is one of the best. And we are here today for Chan Chang Gei, one of the best brands, especially for the gold oyster. And here comes with all the oyster in all the trays. They are like under the sun, getting ready for the best timing.
And these are golden oysters?
Some of them are, some of them will be.
Oh,
you can see, it's such as gorgeous.
So what makes a good one, a good golden oyster?
First, we can smell it. The smell is really sweet, like full of the smell of the oyster. And the second you will see is a really fat one like me, get a tummy here.
Right.
And yeah, and you can see here is the roll inside.
Right, you can see like oyster roe
Yeah.
inside.
So you can imagine when you bite on it, you can have the texture.
Very soft but a little bit chewy at the same time.
You can find out that the inward of it is still like moisted, but the outside of it is like dried it a little bit. So once we pan fry it or cook it, it will be a little bit crispy for the texture. But it's really hard to get this ideal taste because sometimes the weather is hard to maintain. Maybe the first 2 days are really dry, but suddenly it gets some rain or like get the monsoon wind, and it become soft back and like.
So it's a very delicate balance.
Yeah, so it's
get it
all
right.
about luck and technique.
That's amazing.
So now let me prepare for the oyster to cook for you. At the same time, our best friend, Cheng So, will be showing you how these oysters to be made in this farm.
Cheng So, or Auntie Cheng, began shucking oysters in her family farm when she was just 8 years old. And now she is still making sun-dried golden oysters the same way her grandparents did. Cheng So 你好啊！
你好，
哇，啲蠔好靚喎！
川蠔豉啊，
我想問咧，蠔豉同金蠔有咩分別啊？
蠔豉咧就要曬8日，金蠔咧就曬2日。
2日啊？
如果你北風夠高咧，就曬2日；如果你回南天咧，就要2日半。佢而家咧香港人咧後生就興食金蠔多啲，啊老人家咧就食回甘味個蠔豉，記憶就係回甘味嘅蠔豉。
但係蠔豉就味好犀利嘅喎，唔係個個接受到。
蠔豉咧，點解老人家食咗幾十年嘅蠔豉咧，都係蠔豉啱味咧？佢食咗8日嘅蠔豉咧，佢就有種一去到喉嚨咧，有種鼻嗰種回甘味。我哋就細細個開蠔仔咧，都煎羹蠔炒飯食嘅。嗱，好似呢啲咁細隻咁咧，我哋就曬咗2日啦，咁我哋就隨手拿一炸去一鑊嗰度做啲油煎咗嘅，今朝有飯食嘅，食假日飯，咁咪擺埋鑊葱，跟住炒埋一起。蠔油，我哋自己整蠔油嗰啲蠔油賴幾大，哇食到你靚嚟。
The reason why the oyster industry has bloomed at Laofosan is because the area is in a tiny pocket at the Pearl River estuary, where fresh water from the river meets the sea, an ideal environment for oysters to grow. Not only are the oysters harvested and sun-dried locally, this particular species of oyster is also named after Hong Kong, known as this. But let's just call it Hong Kong oysters. For over half a century, Cheng So's farm has been sitting here by the Shenzhen River, which also acts as a natural border between Hong Kong and Shenzhen.
呢度幾十年㗎啦，即係未英國佬統治嗰時咧，我哋個太公咧，嗱前邊嗰啲樓咧都係蠔田，係我哋沙井㗎。
哦，
梗啊！
以前望落去唔係咁㗎咯喎，
以前望落去嗰度咪係好似呢邊咁咯，好似呢邊個蠔灘咯。而家唔使咁辛苦㗎，以前咧要潛水，潛水之餘咧就好凍都要潛水。
你有冇潛啊？
有，
你有份潛㗎？
我陀咗個女8個月，我都係跟佢潛水啊！哇！我個細女啊！
嗰時係咪好辛苦啊？
好辛苦㗎。嗱，你望下，一印泥板一撞就係咁啦。一隻手放落去，泥同蠔殼咁就一自己就泥同蠔咁就算啦。
Cheng So doesn't have to dive into cold waters anymore as farming techniques have improved. But in recent years, there is a new challenge that can potentially threaten her business: climate change. Golden oysters are best harvested and dried under dry and cold weather. But as Hong Kong's climate gets hotter, her harvesting period has become shorter.
我哋嗰啲係捱翻嚟嘅，係好辛苦，因為呢行咧，你好分散咧養殖嘅嘢，好分散你就有兩餐。如果你今年有成功，7年咧又東風多行死埋咧，你又吊起飯鑊仔㗎，好艱難㗎揾食，
真係好辛苦喎，
好辛苦好艱難。不過點講咧，長嫂咧就中意一個行業，冇計，真係好愛。即係唔知我一見到啲蠔咧，我條腰幾痛啦，好似而家74啦，有個月75啦。但係我一落去到蠔田咧， 我明我老公成日話你唔好落去啦，唔好啦，喺上坐啦，我都忍唔住，都要走去四周圍錄嗰塊號紙。你話睇得號有幾大啊？有幾多成啊？梗係有。你而家叫佢潛水就冇啦。就係啊，老啦，年紀大啦。
After seeing how Chang So has dedicated her life into making these golden oysters, it's time to give them a try. The traditional way for oyster farmers to enjoy golden oysters is to simply pan fry and dip them in sugar for a perfect sweet savory balance. But Chef Charles has an elegant but easy way to elevate the golden oysters to the next level. He pan fries the golden oysters until they're crispy, serves them on lettuce leaves, and pairs them with some cured Shanghai ham and honey. It's as simple as that.
I think it's really good choice for the party, or like when having a big group of people, so we can just prepare it a little bit earlier, because the oysters flavor is so good that even it's not too hot, room temperature is still make an amazing flavor.
The lettuce makes for easy holding, but the Shanghai ham with its umami and sweetness is just brings out the underlying ocean flavors in the middle. It's so delicious.
Cheers. Cheers.
It could be one bite too.
For me.
For some people, dried oysters might seem a bit outdated and are something you just take for granted in New Year banquets. But after seeing the work of these talented chefs and oyster farmers, there's no doubt that golden oysters represent something so much more than just an auspicious ingredient. Perhaps it's the hard work and dedication of these people that really bring the blessings to the dish.